The Boston Celtics didn't just win. They made a statement that echoed through every corner of the league. At the TD Garden, in front of a roaring home crowd, Boston crushed the Memphis Grizzlies by 131-95, showing not only dominance but evolution. This was not the same Celtics team that faltered in close games. This was a sharper, faster, and more disciplined version. Before we dive into what truly changed in Boston's play and why this victory might reshape their season, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit that hype button so you don't miss the next breaking update on the Boston Celtics news. Now, let's talk about what really happened on the floor. From the opening minutes, Boston dictated the pace. Their ball movement was surgical. The defense suffocating. Memphis, even with energy and pride, couldn't find a rhythm. The Celtics jumped out early with quick transitions, precise spacing, and relentless hustle. It wasn't just about scoring. It was about control. Every possession had purpose. Every rotation was timed. And when the third quarter hit, everything changed. Boston exploded. That's the moment when all the discipline and chemistry built over weeks finally came together. 34 assists in total. 68% of their made shots came directly from a pass. Numbers that speak for themselves. Players like Payton Pritchard, Jaylen Brown, and Anthony Simons turned movement into rhythm, rhythm into momentum, and momentum into complete dominance. Nini's Quetta was flawless, hitting 6 out of 6, a perfect execution of the pick-and-roll that became the weapon Memphis couldn't stop. The team hit 41.2% from 3, grabbed 68 rebounds, and set season highs in almost every category imaginable. But let's be clear. This was not an easy night. Less than 24 hours earlier, the Celtics had lost a heartbreaking battle to Philadelphia. The emotional and physical fatigue was real. Yet, instead of collapsing, Boston came back hungrier, sharper, more unified. That resilience, that bounce-back energy, might be the most significant thing to come out of this victory. Joe Mazzulla called it a mindset after the game. He knows what this team showed was more than execution. It was identity. This was also a night for the new faces. Jordan Walsh, starting for only the third time in his young career, delivered on both ends with 7 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks, and countless plays that don't appear on the stat sheet but shift the game's energy. Even Ron Harper Jr., in just 4 minutes, made his presence felt with 6 points and a huge block, a glimpse of depth Boston might rely on later in the season. So what does this mean for the Celtics moving forward? It means that the plan, the patience, and the persistence are finally showing results. It means that when Boston executes with discipline, they can dominate any opponent, no matter the circumstances. It means this team is evolving, finding balance between star power and system, between energy and precision. But here's where things get even more intriguing. This wasn't just a win. It was a message to the league. After ranking near the bottom in assists, three-point percentage, and rebounding all season, the Celtics shattered those limits in one night. They proved that when the pieces click, they can look unstoppable. And yet, the biggest question remains. Was this just one great night, or the turning point that changes Boston's entire season? Will the same energy, chemistry, and execution show up again when they face the Los Angeles Clippers after 3 days of rest? Because if this version of the Celtics is here to stay, then every contender in the NBA just got a serious problem. Stay tuned, because the Boston Celtics just reminded everyone what they're capable of. And if this was the spark before the storm, the next few games could define everything. What if this wasn't just a statement win, but the true beginning of Boston's rise? Derek White stood in front of the cameras at the TD Garden with a quiet smile, finally looking like the player Boston trusted through the storm. On Wednesday night, something changed. After weeks of frustration, missed shots, and growing pressure, White rediscovered his rhythm, and the Celtics felt the impact instantly. Boston crushed Memphis by 131-95, and for the first time this season, Derek White looked free again. But the story behind that smile runs much deeper than one hot night. White's early season had been brutal. In his first 12 games, he shot a career-low 28% from three-point range, watching clean looks bounce away and confidence slowly fade. For a 31-year-old who had led the team in scoring during the preseason, averaging 21.7 points, the drop-off was painful. 8 attempts per game, only 2.5 makes. For weeks, it seemed like every rim in the league had turned against him. Then came November 12th, 2 nights after one of the toughest losses of the year in Philadelphia. With 5 seconds left, White fumbled a pass from Jaylen Brown and threw up a desperate 38-foot heave that missed everything. That moment could have broken him. Instead, it became the turning point. Less than 24 hours later, he came back home and played his best game of the season. 20 points. 54% from the field. 50% from deep. 5 rebounds. 4 assists. 2 steals. 1 block. And a reminder that the best version of Derek White is about much more than scoring. It felt good, White said, the relief clear in his voice. It's all part of the journey. Joe Mazzulla never wavered. Neither did the locker room. The message was simple: trust the process. He has an important job for us, Mazzulla explained. He's top of the league in steals and blocks. Every night he takes on a different role. Tonight, it was scoring. That faith paid off. The Celtics recorded 34 assists, their highest of the season, with White helping orchestrate the ball movement that left Memphis lost in rotation. Even Payton Pritchard, who entered the night shooting 25% from deep, joined the comeback narrative. 5 3-pointers. 24 points. The two guards combined for 44, proving that Boston's offense can flow through multiple hands when confidence returns. And that's exactly what makes this performance so significant. White's patience wasn't passive. It was a test of composure, of leadership, of self-belief. He didn't lash out. He didn't change his form. He stayed the course, even when the results refused to show. That calm presence became contagious, and on this night, it finally turned into production. White understands the responsibility now is heavier than before. This isn't the same Boston team from a year ago. It's younger, rawer, and still learning what consistency looks like. We're figuring out every game what works for us, he said. It's different now. We've got to learn faster, grow faster, stay bought in. For the Celtics, this was more than a bounce-back win. It was proof that belief and patience still matter in a league obsessed with instant results. When a veteran like Derek White embraces struggle without breaking, the entire team follows that example. But here's the real question. Was this the end of a slump or the beginning of a resurgence that changes the Celtics' entire trajectory? Because if this is the Derek White who finally found peace within the pressure, then Boston might have just rediscovered one of its most valuable weapons at the perfect time. Payton Pritchard walked into the TD Garden on Wednesday looking calm, focused, and strangely refreshed. The reason? He had just gone back to the basics. After 2 disappointing games that left him visibly frustrated, Pritchard decided to reset. No extra training sessions. No deep analysis. Just a haircut and a quiet promise to himself that he'd stop overthinking. What happened next was nothing short of a mental breakthrough. Boston crushed Memphis, and Payton Pritchard looked reborn. For weeks, fans and analysts questioned what was going wrong. The same player known for fearless shooting and unshakable confidence suddenly looked hesitant, second-guessing open shots and struggling to find his rhythm. Even those closest to him admitted they could sense the frustration building. And when Pritchard finally addressed it after the game, his honesty caught everyone's attention. "I was disappointed in my last 2 games," he said. "I was just kind of in a funk mentally. No pace. No energy. Just didn't play with the same juice." That kind of admission doesn't come often in professional basketball. Most players avoid showing vulnerability, but Pritchard did the opposite. He revealed how those low moments have become turning points throughout his career. "To be honest, when I go through them is usually when I break through and get better," he explained. "I went through it in college, and I've gone through it in the pros. My 4th year, after I signed a new contract, I had a 5-game stretch where I didn't hit a 3 or even score a bucket. I was really down. But once I got through it, I started to get better and better. You can't let it break you. You just grow from it." And on this night, growth was exactly what we saw. Pritchard exploded for 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists. He shot 8 of 15 from the field and hit 5 threes, finishing with a game-high plus 42 in 30 minutes. Every possession carried energy. Every shot came with conviction. There was no hesitation, no doubt, no second-guessing. Just pure rhythm and confidence. Teammate Derek White summed it up perfectly. "Everybody has their own way of getting through tough times," White said. "P knows we have the ultimate trust in him. This is just a little slump, and we know the shots will start falling." That trust was visible all night. Boston's offense flowed, the pace returned, and the team looked as cohesive as it has all season. When Pritchard plays fast and fearless, the Celtics follow his rhythm. But the story goes beyond stats and highlights. What makes this moment powerful is how Pritchard faced the doubt. In a league where confidence is currency, he admitted to losing his. He didn't hide from it. He took responsibility, reset his mindset, and came back stronger. That kind of self-awareness is rare, and it might be the key to unlocking a more mature, consistent version of Payton Pritchard. The question now is simple but pressing. Was this the night that marked his return to form, or just a brief moment of clarity before another test? Because if Pritchard truly found balance between patience and aggression, Boston might have just regained the spark that makes its second unit lethal. So, what do you think? Did Payton Pritchard just prove that confidence isn't about never struggling, but about how you fight your way back when you do? Let me know in the comments, and if you believe in this team's resilience, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that hype button right now, because the Boston Celtics season is only getting started.